This is a tutorial of the Mobius assessment homework number 3B, question number 8. We will only be doing part 3, applying the quantitative tools to calculate this. The easiest way I would do this is using an Excel spreadsheet so that you can see all of the calculations and you don't have to do this by hand, which is much faster. So the first thing I have is I've brought up a blank sheet. I've added the deluxe plan and the basic plan and all of the months that we're going to find the totals for to find the final overall total to enter into my options down here. So the first one, on the deluxe plan, we have all of the information over here about all of the benefits, and over here on the basic plan all of these benefits, and we'll just go through each month. The first one says that we have 2 office visits and a $75 prescription. So we'll come over for our office visit in the deluxe plan. It's $20, and since there are 2 visits, we'll times that by 2. Then the prescription, this says that the prescription drugs are covered at 30% of what you will pay. So they're covered at 70%, you pay 30. So over here on January, I'm going to do equals my $20 per office visit times this by 2, and then add the prescription, which was $75, but I'm only going to be paying 30% of that, so times 0.3. And that's how much was spent in January. And I'm going to continue down, maybe we'll come over to January on the basic plan just so that we get it all the same. So this one, we have a copayment for an office visit of $30, and again we have 2 office visits, and the prescription is covered at 50%, so you pay 50% of the $75. So here we have $30 per office visit times 2, add the $75, but we are covering our cost at 50%, so add 75 times 0.5. And that's what was covered in paid in January in the basic plan. In February, we have 1 emergency room visit that was charged $525. Over here we have the first $75 and then 10% of the remaining charge. So we'll take off $75 from the $525 and then 10% of whatever's left over. Now I can do that by hand, or I could do it breaking it apart, but I'm going to do it in one big equation here so that it just calculates it all at once. So our first $75, so we're going to do equals to get it to calculate, 75 plus. Now it was charged $525, but I already paid the first 75, and I'm only going to pay 10% of this remaining whatever is here. So we're going to times this by 0.1 for 10% of whatever's left over of the 525 after I subtract 75. And so it's $120, and I just do that all at once. February here, our emergency room visit is again $75, but 30% of the remaining charge. So same idea, the same exact formula, except the end, instead of timesing it by 0.1, we'll times it by 0.3. So to speed us up, and one of the benefits of Excel is I can just copy this, come over to February, whoops, Control Z, I just want to copy, and then, sorry, I'm going to press Enter so I'm out of that, but it's on my clipboard. I pressed Control C or Command C, depending on what kind of computer you have, and press, whoops, I'm messing up all over the place. We don't want to copy that one. We're going to copy and Control V to paste, but change this at the end to 0.3. There we go. If you're not comfortable with that, you could just write it out again. We're still doing $75, and then 525 was the total. Subtract the 75, and we're only doing 30% of the remaining. Okay, so that was in February. Let's move to March. March is just 1 office visit, so in the deluxe plan the office visit is just $20, so we'll do 20. Don't need to do any calculations. Again over here in March, but the office visit is 30, so just 1 office visit. July, again 1 office visit, so we'll put 20 here and 30 here. August says a hospital stay for surgery. We have a hospital and doctor charged $9,000 and $85 in prescription. So we have a hospital stay or procedure at 10%. So we pay 10%. That's what this is saying. And then we have a prescription as well, which is covered at 70%. So we pay the 30%. So we have $9,000 here. So I'm going to calculate a bunch of stuff over here all at once. We have the $9,000, but we're not paying the whole $9,000. The deluxe plan says that I only need to pay 10% of that. So we're going to times this by 0.1, and that takes part of the first part, the hospital stay at $9,000. Now I need to add the $85 prescription, add 85, and this is covered, we only pay 30%, so we're going to do 85 times 0.3 for the 30% that we pay. Again, over here, it's going to be the same thing. We could actually, this one, hospital stay at 30%, so we could just copy and paste this over again. So I'm going to do that copy, Control C, Control V to paste, and then come in and edit because it's 30% of the hospital stay or visit, and the prescription drug is at 50%, and that's how much we pay in the basic plan. Then in September, the last thing is just 3 office visits. So our office visit here is 20, and then we're going to multiply by 3 because we have 3 office visits. And over here the office visit is 30, and times this by 3, and then we need the total. I can do the auto sum feature up here. I can press equals and just type in sum, and we're going to add all of these together. To do that, I do one left click and hold, and then drag down and say I want to add all of those, and press enter. I could close the parenthesis if I want to, but there's sufficient information for Excel to know that it's going to add all of those. That's faster. You could do equals and select each of these and press add in between them, but this way is much faster. And there's our totals for those. And then we have our monthly premium of $425. I guess we could have done that before the total. So you know what? We could do that still. Let's insert. Just insert here, and we're going to do our premium. And there we go. And then that will be, nope, not included. So we'll just change that to one more to include it. And again here, we're just going to include one more cell right there. Okay, so our premium will be for this one $425 for, we are checking for the whole year, right? Yep, last year's medical. So 12 months. And over here, these 12 months, we only paid $150 times the 12 months. And so our total is $6,308 and the total of $5,000 here. It did end up looking like the deluxe plan was going to be the better option because you paid less for a bunch of these. When we totaled those before we added the premiums in, it was actually cheaper until we added the premiums in. So it ended up being the basic plan was better. All right, so I hope that helped on the calculations for homework 3B, question number 8, part 3.